Hey everybody. Sorry. Okay. So, welcome everybody back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. I'm Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, and this week I got a new computer, and I am looking at the game in ultra high graphics this week for the first time, and I haven't even gotten to play it much. This is I think my third time in the game since I got my new computer. And I hadn't logged into Gryfflet, and so I'm seeing the inside of Lothlorien. I didn't even realize there are little dandelion fluffs flying around. That's adorable. So I'm going to attempt to not spend all of my time in today's session staring around and marveling at all the details that I've never seen before. But I hope you'll bear with me if I do a certain amount of that anyway, at various points. Like I can see the individual Malorn leaves on the trees in the distance. That's so cool. Anyway, okay. Sorry. So, yeah, anyway, right. So Gryfflet is here. He's still in the spot where he's been meditating for a week now. So he's gonna do it now officially again. Yeah. He's meditating about Arwen and Aragorn, as we spent a lot of time last time doing. So is that an insufficient amount of meditating that he seems to have done just there? No, we're doing it again. Am I not in the right spot? I thought I was. Oh, here he is. Here it is. Okay. I was not quite on exactly the piece of real estate where this happened. Okay. I wonder why they chose the root of this particular tree. Oh, well. Okay. All right. Okay. I've got to go back up the tree. I need to get to the flat on top of Cairn Amroth again. Hey guys, Frodo and Sam in high resolution. Good to see you guys. Okay, up we go. Woohoo! So yeah, I hope you guys can see the difference in the stream. The stream quality should be better. Pretty much everything. My internet connection is the same, but my limiting factor was never my internet connection. It was always the processing power of my old machine. But yeah, calm and the peaceful look of one who has meditated. You might be mistaking that for the marveling look of somebody beholding ultra high resolution graphics for the first time to Elen, but it's all good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Your turmoil is threatening. Oh, wait. You want me to gather Eleanor? Okay, hang on, wait. Turmoil threatens our golden wood for the first time in many a year. The ravages of Orkkind to the northwest, the unusually aggressive river creatures to the southeast. I worry that fear may be taking more of a toll upon us than we might admit to. You've an idea. All right. All right. I might help you see it to its completion. May aid in staving off the insidious dread that is the enemy's weapon. Okay, we need to fight against the dread that could be falling upon Lothlorien in this time as the enemy seems to be closing in around it. That seems good. The golden flower we call Eleanor and its pale counterpart, Nifredil, are nearly as much in the heart of every elf as is Cairn Amroth itself, the hill upon which they grow. Their smell revives us, their gentle colors rest our eyes. Pick some and bring them to my friends elsewhere in Lothlorien. Okay. Maliriel is the feast mistress at Imlad Lalaith. Follow the road east, right? I know where that is. Ambendel is at Echad Endestel. Okay, yeah, right. Is he the slime guy? Retrace your steps back. Okay, right. Yeah, I'll do that. Talon Fanuathal is west of Cairn Amroth. There you will find Bahanath, the quartermaster. Okay. That sounds interesting. I may or may not end up fulfilling that entire quest, but that's anyway. Hey, Lagos and Gimli, can I look out with you now that I can see? Karen, whoa, look at that's me almost falling off the flat. Oh yeah, Karen Emroth looking even better. Can I see anything to the east now? I was trying to look off into the distance before. What can we see off to the east? Still not much. I mean, I can see trees and stuff over there. Can't see Dol Amroth though. No, Dol Amroth. Yeah, Dol Guldur, of course, is what I mean. Dol Amroth. But I can't resist picking Nefredo and Eleanor. Can't promise to deliver them all, but Eleanor, after whom Sam is going to name his firstborn child. Right? An elvish flower name. Traditional flower name. Traditional Shire flower name, and yet an elvish flower. Both to indicate the special beauty of Eleanor and the elvish influence over the Shire at the time of her conception. Through the box of Sam. But also, of course, to indicate the sort of the new contextualization, right, of the Shire and the wider world. So you've got the traditional Shire flower name, but now elvish flowers are, the elvish flowers of Karen Emroth are included in that list because, of course, Sam is bringing home with him experience and memories of the wider world, and not just Shire flowers. And of course, Sam being a gardener makes that even more poignant, right? That he comes back with, because of course Sam brings back botanical and horticultural experience of the wider world and signals the connections in that way, which is cool. But Eleanor, by the way, is also, and I think I mentioned this before, I had my wife's permission to name our daughter Eleanor if we had a daughter, but we didn't. We just had boys, so I didn't end up having a child named Eleanor. But I even got permission to spell it with an A, had we had a girl child. But it wasn't her, it was him. So ended my one chance to name one of my children an actual bona fide Tolkien name. Okay, all right. Like I said, I may or may not deliver them. We'll see. But I think we should go... Where do I need to go? Oh, yes, I need to go to Orthyr and tell him about the saplings. Right, I was in the middle of that. I had ascertained that they were brittle and stuff. They looked bad. Let's see. No, you just want to give me that same quest again. Oh, Orthyr is the one, right? He's... Okay, right, he's over this way. All right. Let's get on the pony. All right. All right. So, the Eleanor and Nefredo whipping by my face there at a rapid pace. Okay. Sorry, just admiring the stones. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Looks a lot less like a sidewalk than it used to look. Okay. Let's see, who are you? You're the stable master, so you're not quite the one I'm looking for. Hey, is there, I'm looking for a horticultural expert. There you are. Scholar of the trees. Yeah, that's you. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Malbrethil, there's problems. The first Malbrethil tree was a gift from those who dwell beyond the sea. Oh, really? We prize them so because they listen to the harmonies of Middle-earth itself and breathe them out into their surroundings. That's interesting. Therefore, it is no small matter, right? If they're listening to the harmonies of Middle-earth and breathing them out into their surroundings, the fact that they're brittle and spindly, right, suggests that it's in connection with the flower quest I was just sent on, right? That Middle-earth itself is being, messed with. The balance and it's so it's a symptom, right? It's a symptom of the times. I fear that our lands have been visited by so very many of the friends and allies of Gandalf the Grey. You're blaming me? That the Force and its beasts have been quieter, frightened perhaps. Okay, now that's just not right. So invading orcs are not the problem. No, visiting hobbits are the problem. Okay, Orthier, you've dropped in my opinion. I think that you might remedy this if I were to sing to the saplings. I need to... Okay, any song will do. Perhaps hearing of your homeland will strengthen them. When you have sung to them, seek out Sendiel, another warden of the woods whom I last saw in a clearing in Galirdor, southwest of the hill. Okay, so I have to go sing to the saplings because Orthier thinks they are troubled by all of the foreigners in Lorien. Like I said, I like to think this is due to they sense the disturbance, right? The disharmony of Middle-earth as the shadow is spreading, and orcs and other evils are pressing ever closer. Just like what's her name, who just gave me this quest, Tuelin, wasn't that it? Was sensing that not all is right, and that the trees are sensing this and therefore reflecting that. The idea that they are disturbed by our presence, by the presence of a hobbit, even several hobbits, in the land, that just seems kind of scandalous, I have to admit. Look how the floor is of golden malorn leaves, which you can distinguish individually. Oh, that's wonderful. Sorry. Okay. But one way or another, I like the fact that whatsoever may be the cause of the disquiet of the trees, the concept of the disquiet of the trees, and of their manifestation of, the sort of a disturbance of the music here, right? Of the harmonies of the wood. And the harmony, the greater, which are themselves like in sort of resonance with the greater harmonies of Middle-earth itself. That works for me. I like that. And I like the fact that it's meant to be reconciled by singing. And there's something especially charming in the idea of... I'm being chased by a shrew. Am I not being... No, okay. He just happened to be running we just happen to be running in the same direction, that shrew and I. So that's fine. So I need to, there's a certain, yes, I need to sing to 4 different saplings. So yes, the idea that they would be eased by singing is a lovely idea. I love this idea because, okay, it's overly delicate. Yeah, I ascertain that it's ill. I'm supposed to sing to, oh, right, sing to it. I'm not supposed to examine it. Sing! You singing, Gryfflet? That was a short song you sang, Gryfflet. Okay, so, of course, the passage that it makes me think of most, the idea of a hobbit in a disturbed situation singing songs of his homeland, right, is Sam, of course, in the Tower of Cirith Ungol. I'm not saying it's a reference to that, but it's what it makes me think of, right? And you think about sort of that movement by Sam, right? That impulse by Sam at that particular moment to sing songs as he begins singing songs of the Shire, old songs, that he heard from Mr. Bilbo and things that he made up himself. All right, I'm singing to you. Singing to you, tree. Anyway, he sang songs of his homeland, not just to comfort himself, right? It's not just like an escapist move on Sam's part, right? I'm going to pretend like I'm not sitting in a dark tower infested by orcs, though they're mostly dead, and that I can't find Frodo, who's also probably dead. And so I'm just going to pretend none of that exists, and instead I'm going to sing songs about home so I can think about home and not worry about the rest of it, right? That's not what Sam's doing. There's something much deeper and much more profound about Sam's choice to sing songs of the Shire at that moment, songs of peace and harmony in this in that place, right? There's a power in song in Tolkien's world, which is pretty consistent throughout Tolkien's works. So the idea that these, again, whatsoever it be that has actually disturbed the saplings here, the idea that singing to them of my homeland in the Shire could heal them, could assist in their healing, is a lovely idea. Did I already sing to this one? Is that why it's not giving me credit? I did. I've sung to that sapling a whole bunch of times, and it's not giving me credit. I must have returned to my original sapling. Okay. I have to keep hunting for another sapling here. Anyway, so, okay. So, because it's not just the fact that... Now, this is the other one that I sang to, right? Or did I skip this one? Let's see. No, I must have sung to that one, too. Okay, I need to find an unsung to sapling here. Is there any trees here I haven't sung to? No. Right? I've clicked on you. I'm singing to you. Okay. You are not the sapling I'm looking for. Okay, I've now sung to 3 different trees twice each, apparently. Anyway, like I keep attempting to say before I interrupt myself, singing to them in the Shire is really cool. Because, of course, it speaks... And that's why I kind of think that I don't like Orthyr's interpretation of the illness of the trees. That they're spooked by the presence of hobbits, right? And that they, in my song, are learning from me that, hobbits are, like, nice and friendly, too, and it's okay that we're here. It's, to me, far more appealing to think that they are... Again, the trees are sensing the greater disruption of the... of the world around them, and are troubled by that, and that in singing of them of the Shire. See, one of the roles that, of course, the Shire has throughout the Lord of the Rings is the... Okay. Anytime I want to come across another tree that needs singing to, I've got to have sung to this one. Oh, okay, there he is. There's my 4th tree. Anyway, the Shire throughout the story really... hang on, I gotta find out. Where's the guy I need to go to? Where are you, dude? Oh, you're over there. Okay. The Shire serves as this... Not even a symbol. That makes it sound a little too English teachery, but the Shire is associated with peace and harmony, right? Think about Frodo's words to Gandalf in Chapter 2 of the Fellowship of the Ring, right? That, as he goes out goes into danger, probably never to return, it will, it will help him to know that somewhere there is a firm foothold, right? That the Shire exists in peace and safety, even if he can't be there, right? So that's the role that the Shire has, and I like the idea so that, first of all, in one sense, that I'm imparting that to the trees, right? By singing of the Shire and sharing with these trees of Lothlorien who are feeling the danger pressing ever closer. Hey, like, this doesn't mean that all of Middle-earth is in collapse, right? Even if Lothlorien is threatened, the Shire still remains. There is still peace. There is still stability in Middle-earth. So that the, it's broadening the horizons of the trees a little bit more, I think, than just be like, I mean you no harm, right? But even more, to kind of take it even one step further, I think about Sam's reaction to being in Lothlorien, right? And how much he marvels at it, and in particular, I'm remembering his reaction to Karen Amroth when he, is looking around and saying, it's daylight and bright sun. Sure enough, right? I always thought that elves were all for stars, for the twilight and for stars, but this place is more elvish than anything I ever heard tell of. And when he's talking to Frodo later on, he talks about how the elves seem to belong here even more than hobbits belong in the Shire, right? So that's another thing that I think is a really kind of cool parallel in singing songs to the trees there, is that sense in a hobbit singing of the Shire, right? There is that same kind of belonging, that same sense of harmony between the people and the land that the elves have here in Lothlorien, right? So not only to say, I come in peace, mean you no harm, you need not be afraid of us, the hobbit intruders, to your lands, but your relationship with the elves is not unique. It is only a part of the larger harmony of Middle-earth, and that's the reassurance that we're giving to the saplings. There's a lot there in that quest. It's a really fascinating quest idea, which touches on some really big themes in Tolkien's work. Yes. Whence do I come? From Orthyr. That is strange. He usually has little patience for visitors. Perhaps you should start from the beginning. Okay, right. Yeah, I sung to the saplings. I know it seemed silly, but I hope it makes sense to you. What a lovely cure, marvelous in its simplicity. If we are to take what the scholar of the tree says to heart, more music will have to be made throughout these woods to replace the natural tunes of beasts and birds that have been silenced by the trampling of so many feet. There you go, blaming us again. The mention that you say Orthyr made of the first Malbrethril tree has given me an idea. Oh, okay, what's your idea? And can I just say, I don't see any scarcity of birds and beasts in this place. Half of them are attacking me when I'm walking by them. I've been a great aid. Well, thanks. Not only do we know of what has weakened our beloved Malbrethril, but I can send word to Melendathor, I would think, to recruit other visitors to help repair the damage that their presence in Lothlorien is causing. It is clear that we have been remiss in our vigilant care of the Malbrethril. I have one more task. Okay, head into Tower Heath, in particular the area around Karen Brethil. That's where I just was. I suspect that the reason we have seen fewer Malbrethril is that the shrews have been dining on their seeds. Please that place was infested with shrews, I gotta tell you. Please recover some of the seeds and return them here. The animals collect them in considerable numbers to store away for the colder season. Okay. All right. I will go collect seeds from the hungry shrews which have infested Karen Brethil. All right. Very good. All right. Okay. Back to look for more seeds. Let's plant some more of these trees. Let's stop this shocking everywhere around here? Am I being attacked? The music stopped because I'm being... Yes, it did. Figures. Being pursued by a stealth lynx. Jerk. So, where am I meant to collect them from? Do I have to kill shrews? I do. Okay. All right. First, I've got this stealth lynx with which to deal. All right. And now I've got to hunt shrews. There's a forest shrew. Oh. Would you come back here, shrew? I'm going to stealth myself and sneak up on the shrew. Boom! Oh! Oh, that shrew sounds really angry. Okay, biting shrew. Uh-oh, it's an angry shrew. So I'm just admiring the graphics of the angry shrew. That is a shrew that means business. That is a shrew that will give no quarter. Okay. Okay. I neither gave nor asked any quarter of the shrew. No, I'm going to leave the fox alone. Come back here, shrew. Oh, you're hiding? Really? I totally can't get that shrew. It's successfully sheltered itself underneath this. I can't get it. That's really funny. Can I throw something at it? No. Unbelievable. Fine, shrew, you live. I will let you live. There are other shrews in the forest. But now I have to finish this Malbretho quest line, obviously, because clearly that has to happen. I want to see where else. I want to see where we go next with this. Oh, stop running away from me. All right, is that enough? No, oh man, they're not they're only dropping them very irregularly. I have to kill a lot of shrews if only a few of them, if they only occasionally drop the seeds. Okay. Anyway, let me answer a lore question then while I am shrew hunting. So, a question. I mentioned this before. Tony Mead had asked a question, which is a delightful question to answer here in Lothlorien. Very relevant to many things that have been happening and of which we've been discussing, and that is the diminishing of the firstborn. So, firstborn, not the firstborn. They might have been the firstborn as well, but the firstborn. So, Tony was asking. So Galadriel talks about diminishing. And he says, in what sense exactly are the firstborn diminishing? Would you stay still? Bloody shrew. In what sense are the firstborn diminishing? When Galadriel says, you know, I must diminish and go into the west. In what sense are the firstborn diminishing? So, okay. And he was asking, like, in power, in numbers, you know, in what sense do we understand that to be true? And there are a couple answers to this question, actually. There's the Lord of the Rings answer to the question, and then there's the historical answer to the question, which is really interesting. Because the Lord of the Rings answer to the question is power, diminishing in power and sort of significance. A word that Tolkien uses in this kind of broader sense is stature. Right, stature, which literally means height, right? How tall you are, but there's more than just physical height involved in the concept of stature. So anyway, yeah. So that is the basic sense in which. All right, hang on. I'm hunting for shrews still. That is the basic sense in which the elves are going to diminish. They will become lesser. But in the Lord of the Rings, it's really vague, right? Like, so their significance is going to be less. I guess their power is going to be less in some way. Exactly why is that going to happen? Like, by what mechanism are they going to be reduced? I mean, we know that Galadriel's influence and her power in Middle-earth in the sense of her, like, oh, that shrew just tempted me over a cliff. Oh my goodness, these shrews are so wily. First, the one hides under a root where I can't get it, and the other one tempts me to my doom over a cliff. That's another shrew that deserves to live. I'm telling you, these Lothlorien elvish beasts, right? I've got this one pinned against the cliffside, though. You'll never survive. My goodness, I have met my match in cunning today. Okay, so, but like I said, the sort of it's kind of vague. Galadriel's power and influence are going to wane because the Ring of Power is going to dwindle in strength, right, after the destruction of the One Ring, because they're tied together. Even though Sauron didn't make the 3 rings, yet nevertheless he sort of bound up the other 3, sort of tied them to the One Ring. That was why the One Ring was made, in large part. So, am I being chased by a lynx again? Yes. Annoying lynx. Anyway, so that's easy enough to understand, but okay, but we're not just talking about Galadriel losing the ring, right? When we talk about elves diminishing, it's not most of them. For most of them, the vast majority of them, there's another cliff. It's not merely the fact that they are. Where are the darn shrews? I need one more shrew, people. Come on now. Anyway, it's obviously not just about the rings of power. So if not, then what? Right? What exactly is happening with the elves? Well, in The Lord of the Rings, it's never really explained. We're told that we're just given a kind of a vague sort of fatalistic explanation, right? The time of the elves is done. The fourth age is going to be the age of the dominion of men, like for some reason, right? But that mechanism isn't really explained. That is a change in 2 ways from Tolkien's earlier writings. The concept of the diminishment of the elves and the dominion of men is a very old idea. It goes back to the very, very beginnings. Darn it, it wasn't my last shrew. I was hoping that would be my last shrew. The idea of the diminishing of elves goes way back in Tolkien's thinking, to the very origins of the mythology, the first versions in the Book of Lost Tales. And what we saw, and there are 2 things about it that go back to then. On the one hand, the idea of the elves fading and men, becoming ascendant, is back then. But it's not just the idea that goes back there. Again, there are 2 ways in which it changes. One is what the diminishing looks like, and the second is the fact that there is no mechanism. I said in The Lord of the Rings, it's never explained. Like, what is it exactly that is the efficient cause of the elves diminishing, right? And what exactly is that diminishing going to be looking like? Those are questions that The Lord of the Rings doesn't answer. Well, the Book of Lost Tales did answer those questions, so that apart from the fact that what happens and why is different, the mere fact that there is an explanation is different in the Book of Lost Tales. And the reason is, it's the air and the sun. Oh, finally. Good thing hunting shrews wasn't too annoying. Boy, I learned my lesson. I'm not hunting shrews anymore. Forget about it. I'm swearing off the hunting of shrews. I'm going to hunt something safe, like Uruk-hai or, fire drakes or something like that. Anyway, so he did have an explanation, and it was about the sun and the air of Middle-earth. That when the sun arose, so like in the Silmarillion, it still says that like the age of the sun is the age of men, but it doesn't actually, the published Silmarillion doesn't explicitly say that the sun has an actual physical effect on elves, that like since the sun arose, the elves have begun to diminish. But in the Book of Lost Tales, it did say that the sun actually causes the diminishing of the elves. So over time, they're diminishing. The other significant difference, and this, when I first learned it, was kind of mind-blowing, is that the elves diminish. When we talk about the elves diminishing in the original mythology in the Book of Lost Tales, it wasn't just about diminishing power. What was diminishing was their physical size, in fact. Hang on that for a second. Okay, yeah, there's seeds. Yes, I tore them from the bleeding and reluctant corpses of many shrews. These seeds should have survived their little detour through the shrews. Oh, good. Yes. Okay. That's it. You're welcome. You're welcome. It was all worth it. It absolutely was. Okay. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? I need to talk to the other dude I need to talk to Bosie. Where's Bosie? Oh, Chamber of the Crossroads. Okay. Let's head back to Moria. Can't wait to see Moria with my ultra high graphics. Never been in Moria with my high graphics. Anyway, okay, so yes, the in the Book of Lost Tales, it was actually diminishing in physical stature, right? Remember, when Tolkien started writing the 19 teens, right? The word elf still meant little, thing that hides in flowers, right? Like Tinkerbell. Victorian elves were these tiny little things. And although Tolkien later in his career comes to just rebel against that and say, no, that's not what elves are. Forget the tiny little things, right? They're not diminutive, as of course he famously argues in his essay on fairy stories. No, they're not necessarily. However, Tolkien didn't start off with that level of defiance. He started off, when he began the first versions of his mythology, he accepted it. He accepted the framework that in our world, right, in contemporary England, the fairies, there are still fairies here. There are not very many of them. And those that are diminished, both in power and in size, right? They're tiny. The reason that we contemporary English people of the early 20th century have these legends of the tiny little fairies, the tiny little elusive fairies, is because that's all that's left of the mighty elves of old, right? So his original mythology was not this like new version of the story, right? Which sets out to like redefine elves in everybody's mind, which he has pretty much completely succeeded in doing, right? Almost completely. Anyway, that's not where he started off. Where he started off is saying, given the modern view of fairies, how did we get here? Right? So he makes up a story that explains how we got to where we are. And where we are right now is with the world dominated by men, and yet maybe in some places a few remnants of fairies who are small and elusive. And so the question is, how did they diminish? Because they used to be bigger, right? That the concept that elves were great and not always, that he's not just going to write fairy stories about little sprites and pixies. That was consistent from the beginning, but again, he ends up there, right? So when Galadriel says in the Fellowship of the Ring, "I will diminish and go into the West." Hang on, what just happened there? Is there like a puff of smoke from when I land? Sorry. Graphics distraction, and I'm looking at the floor. Wow. There's dirt on the floor. Okay, so when Galadriel in the Fellowship of the Ring says, "I must diminish and go into the West," she doesn't mean I'm going to get really small. I don't think that when Galadriel said that, when Tolkien wrote that line of dialogue for Galadriel, his conception had already changed, right? She doesn't mean I will literally diminish. But Galadriel, like that word, right, the concept of the elves diminishing has its roots back in the time when Tolkien was going to make them physically diminish into small pixies. So anyway, that's sort of the two answers to the question, and it's kind of fun to sort of see how they work together. Hey, Bosie. So
these are my first dealings with Celeborn of Lorien.
Yeah.
I do not know what to make of him.
You don't know what to make of Celeborn? Nobody does, really. I mean, he's kind of, to be frank, he's a bit of a cipher compared to his wife, so that's just kind of the way it is. But anyway, all right, welcome back. You're disappointed that Gimli didn't return. He does have his reasons, and trust me, they're good ones. His father, Glóin, has long been a close friend of my father and Broger's father, and Gimli surely retains the honor of his forebears. Yeah, so Gimli and Bosie and Broger are like cousins. They're not literally cousins, right? But they're like, if you consider like Thorin's Company, like the Brotherhood of Thorin's Company, right? They're like the first cousins of Thorin's Company. Anyway, okay. This is my first dealing with the with Celeborn of Lothlorien, right? You're not sure what to make of him. He has sent a number of elves to help us, and while I appreciate the assistance, they seem perhaps too eager to blame the dwarves for all troubles, both present and past. Yeah, that happens. You just kind of do have to sort of put up with that kind of thing from the elves. At times, they have established a camp with one of my dwarves, Orvar Bellhammer, in a newly excavated passage off Durin's Way, Buzunghar. Okay. It is located in the very southeastern corner of Tharak Bazan in the southern wall, right near the exit from those gardens. Okay. All right. I know where to find them. Orvar is having difficulty getting along with the elves. All right. We'll head over there. See what we can do to be of assistance here. Okay, Stable Master, where we want to go is, can we go to Tharak Bazan directly? That'd be awesome. No, we can't. Maybe I go back to the 21st Hall. Yeah, let's do that. Let's approach this from the other direction. No offense there, Mr. Stable Master. Dwarf. Oh, wait, I forgot I wanted to see. Oh, well. I can see the patterns on the ceiling now. And the movement of the air beneath it. Wow. Okay, sorry. All right, Stable Master.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Oh, I didn't introduce myself over there. Fine. Oh, I can't even go to Jazargund? Okay. We'll hoof it. All right. Oh, yeah, Druid's Fire. Thanks for reminding me. I do have to go back to the Mirror. All right. Cool. All right, I'll go overland. Let me see. Other question. Well, actually, let me start with an update. Let me do an update on the big new event that is happening that I'm really excited about. I can't remember. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm going to talk about it again because I'm super excited about it. Next month in January, I'm going to start a new weekly event on Twitch and in Lotro. And it's going to be called Exploring the Lord of the Rings. That is the title for it. And what we're going to be doing is a close, in-depth discussion of the Lord of the Rings chapter by chapter as we go through. Of course, I'm calling it Exploring the Lord of the Rings for two reasons. One, as some of you know, I wrote a book on The Hobbit called Exploring the Hobbit. The original title of it was Exploring the Hobbit. The publishers insisted on changing it to Exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, which doesn't quite roll off the tongue in quite the same way. Oh goody. I can go take a slow goat most of the way there. Anyway, that's the name of my book on The Hobbit. And for those of you who don't know my book on The Hobbit, I'm not trying to sell you my book on The Hobbit, but in my book on The Hobbit, what I did was a chapter-by-chapter discussion. So I dedicated one chapter of the book to each chapter of The Hobbit, going through and doing a careful reading of The Hobbit, looking at the overall themes of the story and how the Hobbit kind of holds together and sort of the overall shape of it, looking both at the close up at the details in the chapters, as well as looking at the big picture and sort of looking at how the themes unfold over the course of the whole story. And that's essentially what I want to be doing in our live sessions as we discuss. I need to dismount now. As we discuss the Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to call it Exploring the Lord of the Rings in part for that reason, to sort of recall that and point to the fact that we're going to be doing basically the same thing there. But of course, the title Exploring the Lord of the Rings has a new and and different kind of significance, obviously, in the context of this show, because here I am. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Oh, oops. I just unstealthed myself. That was very cunning. Because, of course, here I'm going to be doing this in game as well, so that we will get to to physically explore in game the Lord of the Rings. So we're going to be exploring in a literal as well as in a figurative sense as we discuss our way through the book. Because my plan is, in every session, the majority of the time I'm going to spend just doing a book discussion. So those of you if you have ever attended one of my Mythgard Academy class sessions, it's going to be like that, where I'm going to be talking about the book. I'm going to be pointing to particular passages and discussing the story. I want that to be really interactive, like the Mythgard Academy stuff is. I came down on the wrong side of that thing, didn't I? So it's not just going to be me lecturing about the books. I'm going to be, asking you guys questions and wanting to hear your observations, and we'll be really discussing it together. So that's going to be the majority, probably like 2/3 ish of the overall session will be that straight up book discussion. But then there will come a point where we will leave our discussion hall and we will go and explore the parts of Middle-earth that are either represented directly from the part of the story that we were talking about, or that I think, or will make an argument to you, are connected sort of conceptually to the part of the story that we just read. And so we'll be looking there at the adaptation that Lotro is doing. I've been doing that, of course, as I've gone through the epic quest line, but it'll be really interesting to parallel that directly with the books, chapter by chapter. So I'm super excited about this. It's going to be every Tuesday night. I'm going to be holding it on the Signum U Twitch channel because this is going to be one of Signum University's programs, like the Mythgard Academy. It's going to be open to everybody. So of course this means it's open to gamers and non-gamers alike. If you are, if you have friends, who are Tolkien fans who are not in game, give them the address of our Twitch site, twitch.tv/signumu, and they can tune in and listen and participate in the discussion, and they can watch us do the in-game portion, so they can sort of follow that discussion as well. But of course, if you are in game, then you can join me in game and then come with me on the field trip while we look around, and that way you can be helping make observations and stuff as we go through that. So anyway, that's the plan, and it's going to be really cool. Now, the other thing is that I am going to branch out. I've been on Landreval ever since. That's really the only server I've ever played on, really. I've visited one or two other servers before, but I've never really played on them before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating a new character on all of the servers, and I'm going to actually rotate through. So each week that I do the class, I'm going to be doing it I'll have a regular rotation that I'll be going through and doing it on different servers, so that different people can have a chance to. I've been feeling a little bit bad. I know that some people who watch this stream are not Landreval people, and have sometimes expressed the sort of disappointment that you can never be involved in the in-game stuff that I'm actually doing. So I want to give everybody a chance to do that, and everybody else, of course, can join us on Twitch and still take part in the discussions and everything too. So anyway, very excited about this new endeavor. This is something I've been kind of working towards and sort of dreaming about. I've been talking about ever since I started playing Lotro. I've been talking about my desire to do something like a class, right, in game, and be interacting with the environment and talking about the books and everything. So after having been doing this for a while, I've been streaming for a while and being in game for a while, and we've sort of finally come to ways in which we can make this happen, and I think this is going to work out really, really well, and I'm very excited. I'm also amazed at how awesome these purple plants look. I mean, look at the veins on the leaves. Wow. That is cool. Not to mention that these elves' outfits are just sharp. Look at that. Looks really good. Gryfflet has a perfect vantage point right in the middle of this campfire for looking at that. Man. Hey, Orvar. Yeah, you look good too, but not as good as your friend Nympheleg over here does. Yeah. Um, so I hope that that you guys. So one thing to keep in mind, if you are interested, if you would be interested, like if you have a kin on one of the, obviously again I have lots of connections on Landreval where I've been now for a couple of years, but if you are in a kin on another server and you think people in your kin would be interested in participating in the discussion and coming along with me on our exploration when I do my week in your server, get in touch with us. You can contact Maven in game. You can send an email to me at info@signumuniversity.org. Will get to me. That's the just the info email that's at the bottom of the Signum University website. That'll definitely get to me too. And I'd love to make a connection if you'd like me to come and I'd like to come and sort of meet your kin and stuff. That'd be cool. So yeah. I would love to sort of make some more connections, and because the more people we can have doing this, I think it's going to be a really fun opportunity for players who have been immersed in the game for a long time to get a chance to kind of step back and really immerse themselves in the book and the game at the same time. I think it's going to be a pretty eye-opening experience for everybody, really, including me. That's why I'm so excited about it. So anyway, okay, let's talk to Orvar.
This cavern was recently unearthed, and the gardens here still thrive.
The gardens, I know, right? This must be a particularly moist part of Moria, I gotta think. Okay, the elves have been sent by Celeborn for the purpose of helping us drive the evil out of Khazad-dûm. That's nice. So they say, but they seem much more interested in casting blame about than in doing anything helpful. Okay. This cavern, Buzunkhar, was found shortly after you departed, and many of my folk were impressed by the state of it. The gardens still thrive, at least up here they do. Something rots and corrupts the plant life as you descend. Oh dear. But while we could use some real help in clearing the cave of danger, instead these elves speak often of digging too deeply and disturbing things best left unstudied. Sorry, that really needs air quotes, right? I can imagine this dwarf using air quotes there, right? The elves speak often of digging too deep and disturbing things best kept undisturbed. You've got to both do air quotes and roll your eyes at the same time, I think, to capture Orvar's spirit here. If this is the best Celeborn has to offer, I'd rather he kept them in the woods. Okay, talk to Coronothiel Gryfflet and see if I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong, is the undertones. You'll see. Okay, right. You'll see I am not. Okay. Okay, Mr. Confident. Hi, Coronothiel. What's going on here? So, are you guys just critiquing and, harping on the whole digging too deep thing?
Some evil lives at the bottom of Buzungar, and it corrupts the gardens here.
Ah, yeah. Some evil is there, and the evil may spread. This is always the way of dwarves. Why must they always dig into the places they were not meant to go? Will they not be satisfied until no evil remains beneath the stone, and all have come to the surface to lay waste to the home of elves and other good people? Can we, compromise on fighting the evil when we find it? If Orvar will not listen to reason and collapse the only entrance to this passage, sealing the corruption within, we must find its source and destroy it. See, now this is interesting, right? Because of course, just as this elf is complaining about the dwarfish tendency to be always probing and nosing about, right? Not content until they've dug into every place, even where they're not meant to go. Notice what this elf's solution is. Just seal the tunnel, right? And therefore, what does she say? Sealing the corruption within. So there's corruption, right? But if we just kind of seal it off, it'll be kept in, and then we can mind our own business, and then it can mind its own business, right? And so we'll be safe in our little, hermetically sealed elf realm, and the evil will still be there and be locked away, and it won't bother us, right? That's a kind of elvish solution to this problem, right? But it's not actually obvious to me that solution is a better solution than Orvar's solution. Notice what he wants from the elves is help to seek out and destroy the evil thing that is infesting his home, rather than just saying we're going to coexist with the corruption right? Okay, speak to Nympheleg and find about finding the source and dealing with it. Okay, but see, I'm here to deal with it. We have seen Globsnaga orcs deeper within Bulzunkar and fear that they will soon climb up into this place. Okay, have they been corrupted by the wilting rot, or is there some other cause of their affliction? These questions are secondary to the most important matter, that they be defeated before they can do us any harm. Destroy them as you undertake Nympheleg's scheme for cleansing the source of the wilting rot. Okay, so I've got to defeat a bunch of Globsnaga warriors, execute the plan, which I don't know what it is yet, and defeat the skirmishers as well. Okay, fine. Kill a bunch of the fungus orcs. What's the plan, Nympheleg? Okay, the rot that pervades the lower reaches of Bulzunkar is not of the natural world. Okay, and that gives us the duty of removing it. Well, good, I'm glad you don't just want to seal it up and walk away. If Orvar will not listen to our advice and seal the passage, oh, you do want to seal the passage and walk away, we must destroy the source of the willing rot before it escapes into wider Moria and becomes a much greater threat. I agree. I believe I have the means to do this. Oh, good. This barrel. Oh, good, I get an elf stone. Haven't had an elf stone in ages. This barrel will catch pure light even at its most dim and reflect it upon the corrupted walls of the passage. If you place it on a stone in the deepest area of Bulzunkar, it will be like a beacon to the evil of the rot, drawing forth whatever lies behind the wilting rot in agony. Okay, so the light will cause agony, but it will also draw them, right? That seems perfectly appropriate, right? The idea that they are, the evil creatures are drawn to even that which pains them, right? Both hating and desiring the thing, right? That that's a thing in Tolkien, right? So that seems fine. Okay, so all right. So what do we do? Okay, at this time I must destroy the source of the rot, but use caution. I must remain close to the barrel, or its effects will not serve to weaken. Oh, right. So I've got to stay close to it, so it'll weaken the thing. Okay, fine. All right, so I get to... What did I... Oh, what deed did I complete? Oh, I got ally status with Lothlorien. How handy, right? Guest of Lothlorien. That's kind of an attractive title, given the fact that the Fellowship were also guests of Lothlorien. Making progress in my Defender of Lothlorien quest. Okay, right, that's good. Of course, I leveled up some legendaries, as is to be expected. Okay. All right, everybody, let's go find the source of the wilting rot. Ooh, I can't wait to see Globsnaga orcs. Now, I am embarrassed to tell you how much time I have spent losing my way in these tunnels in the past. And that's part of my problem right there. Okay. Ooh, boy, you are an ugly one. Wow. Oh, and the fungus erupting was completely gross. You know, I'm not sure that explosions of pus are really favorably enhanced by ultra-high graphics, but it's okay. Okay, wow, all right. So, let's see what we have here. Wow. Oh, great. Yeah, I don't want to be around the exploding pustule, thank you. Oh, but I have to come closer or else I can't fight you because I don't really have reliable missile weapons. I mean, I am grateful. I have received a gift of many throwing knives so that I can at least initiate combat at a distance now. But you still can't really call that a missile weapon, you know, in the fullest sense of the term. Okay. Because of the cooldown time. Okay. Well, I guess since I have to kill a bunch of them anyway, I might as well fight the ones that I'm coming through. Cave walls look really cool. All right. don't think I want to go up. I think I want to go down. That's where I think I want to go. Okay. You know, it'd be easier for me to navigate my way through here if you guys weren't attacking me every other, you know, time I round the bend, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Wait, do I want to go back up? What? Where did I... This is where I came from, isn't it? No. Ooh, look how shiny the water is. Ah, the light playing on the ripples of the water. That looks awesome. And I'm so stealthy I don't even make ripples in it. Cool. Now that I've completely disoriented myself. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going down. Right? Haha! Ho ho! All right. I did it. Hell, that was easy. I want to look down the precipice. Oh, there's water down there. Who knew? I never knew there was water down there. It just looked like a kind of vague, misty depth before. Okay. All right. So I assume over there is where I want to go. That kind of this little bridge here has boss fight written all over it. But I think in the meantime, I'm gonna still got several more warriors I need to kill after all. So no sense putting it off here forever. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Madman. I didn't... I forgot to pick his pocket. I will try to take advantage of the opportunities. Yeah, I don't want to fight all three of them at once. I am not a guardian. I have to keep telling myself that. I am not playing a guardian. Here we go. Here we go, Nintesh. Ready? Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Darn it! Oh, that was lame. Gryfflet, that was insufficiently burglarious. It really was a disappointment. Tried to sneak up on that guy. He heard me coming. That was disgraceful, Gryfflet. You need to do better than that. Okay. Here we go across the boss-like bridge. I love how the centerpiece here with the roots hanging down, like how this looks like a tree, right? From there, it looks like the trunk of a tree with its branches hanging down. It isn't, but that's what it looks like. And because this is the creeping rot, this presumably is the same kind of lush vegetation that was growing up there. And of course, we know we're close to water because it was very damp up there, and that's why all the plants come from. And of course, so it makes sense that there'd be water down here, right? This is the source of the water, but it's also the source of the rot. So we have lots of dead things here. There's a Kyrog. Oh dear. Yes, he looks unfriendly. Yes, and it ends in Rog, so that's probably the insidious evil that is lurking down here that the elves wanted to seal away and not disturb. I can't pick their pockets. Oh, I didn't have him selected. Oh well, another failure. Gryfflet, you got to get back on your burglary game here. All right. Okay. Solo boss fight. Let's tank up a little bit. Have some cram. I've accumulated a lot of cram. I need to eat my way through that. Let's have some roasted carp. Thank you very much. I think, Maven, I think it was you that sent me the roasted carp, wasn't it? Appreciate that. That stuff is awesome. Okay. I will unleash an elf stone upon you. Oh, that was your backside. Oh, you're really quite impressive when you unwind yourself. Haha. Take this. And how about I try to stun you? And we'll see if that works. It did. Oh, I just stunned you, you big, what is it, stony? Are you made out of stone? Can I actually see, like, the flames of the earth licking up from inside your person? Oh, man, you were scarcely a challenge. I collected the barrel back. Oh, good. Okay. So, okay, that, oh no, that's it for that, but I still have to kill some more. I only need one more warrior. Okay. I'll find one more warrior on the way back up. Now, getting back, that's the really tricky thing. There you are. Okay. Here we go. Ready, Natesh? Here it comes. Yes! Oh, I successfully burgled a pure Celebrant cell. Why did you have that? What on earth were you going to be doing with that thing? It's kind of cool to burgle useful things, though. Okay. All right, so now, in theory, I can head straight back up. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong button here. Okay. All right, Gryfflet, let us retrace our steps. No, that's really going to be impossible. Let's just try to find the way up. Let's see how we do. Okay. Okay, we're climbing. That seems good. I'm stuck, apparently. There we go. Now I'm stuck and being attacked. Oh, there is my way through. All right. Yeah, I find these tunnels a little challenging. The twists and turns and the different vertical levels make the mini-map very difficult. And I have a hard time visually distinguishing the different tunnels. So, and this is a blank wall. Blank wall cunningly guarded by Globsnaga warrior, so that's good. Okay. All right, climbing again. This is more promising. I would try to answer a lore question, but I think I need to focus on navigation here. Okay, that's a dead end, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I remember this place coming down. Let's go up the other side. All right, here we are. All right, we're in flat land up here. Are we close? We want to go this way? Uh-oh, we're descending. That's not good, is it? Oh, no! Darn it, I just plummeted. Oh, right. Yes, that's the drop-off that I never see until it's too late. Shoot. Okay. Right, because I did come in that way, but that was bad. Oh, you're in terrible pain. Oh dear. I'm quite sincerely sorry to hear that. Okay. Come on, would you please walk around the walls? Okay. All right, back up in the main chamber here. Oh. Okay. I want to go this way. Oh, hey, Kiriana. I want to... Oh, thank you for that assistance. I think I want to go this way. Do I want to go this way? No. Because I want to go this way. I want to take a left. Can I take a left? Yeah, I can take a left. Okay. All right, this is good. I think this is good. I want to keep going straight. Can I keep going? No. No, no, no. Not that way. I want to go this way. All right. No! Not okay! I'm back. Ah! Okay, okay, okay. This is totally gripping theater, I know, trying to navigate my way through. Okay. Okay, Glab Snaga Warrior. Then I come around the corner and I go up the hill. And I meet the dead end. Good, good. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. Hey, Kiriana, do you know where you're going? Should I follow you? Because I think you just hit the same dead end that I just hit. Pretty much. Yeah. So that suggests to me that you also don't know where you're going. Which, like, I can understand. As I certainly don't know where I'm going. Okay, let's go this way. As I'm fairly sure that this is the way. In that, I've proven that the other way isn't the way. So, okay. Back up to the place with the puddle. So from here, I'm wanting to go up here, right? So I think where I want to go is up this way. Can I? No, it's a dead end. It's a frustrating dead end, which looks like not a dead end on the map. Yes. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So, I want to go... No, I don't want to go this way. I don't want to go back down. I want to go up. Don't I want to go up? Arrgh. Okay. Let's go this way. No! That's where I just was! Darn it! Okay, maybe this is good. No, this is not good, because this is the exit. This is going to take me back to that other dead end. I am telling you. Hey, Moobot is lying on me right now. I have not died 5 times this stream. I mean, hi, Kiriana. Yeah, you don't know either. Yeah, that's what I figured. Me neither. I've been here and I've successfully gotten out before, but like the mini-map bears so little resemblance to the actual tunnels. I'm cheating. I can't handle it. I'm going to use my last mithril coin to get the heck out of there. Right in the fire. Yeah. Oh, man. We are fortunate. Yeah. My goodness. Okay, we are fortunate that Growlon the Kyrog, diminished as he already was, could be weakened further by the light of the barrel I used to draw him forth. Okay, no longer will his presence scar the gardens of Buzunghar or spread out into wider Moria. I worry that more and stronger of his kind may lurk in the deep places, but there is little enough we can do if that is true. I am delighted to have helped you fight the source of the rot. Hooray! I hope the dwarves learned a lesson. Yeah, me too. Boy, now your drops are too... Your quest rewards are too big, too high level for me. Oh, and besides, these boots are nothing near as good as my trickster's boots. Okay. All right. Okay, Kurunothio. It will be some time before the plants recover, yeah. But your defeat of Growlon. See, I think with the Grawl, that suggests the AW shouldn't be read as a diphthong, but rather it's the W is being used consonantally, right? So Growlon, right? Growlon the Kyrog will make that possible where it was not before, right? My defeat of him will be, right? Okay. I've done well, thank you very much. You're pleased that I've helped save the dwarves from their own hard-headed determination to delve where they should not. Not to mention thwarting your desire just to seal it off and procrastinate until tomorrow. A dwarf of the Iron Garrison came to speak with Orvar while you were in the depths. Okay, oh good. So there's a message for me. Hey Orvar, you had a message for me? Can't even see you through this beautiful foliage.
That was no great task for you, was it?
What? Well, I mean, getting out was a great task that I failed at. Why should Coronuthio and Nymphaleg worry so greatly about sealing it away when I so ably defeated Growlon the Kyrog? I know, right? They should have just called the Exterminator in the first place. Good to see that you learned your lesson, obviously. Broen has not been the same, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, a little PTSD from being taken by the Watcher in the water and staving him off with a mithril axe while you sat there starving to death next to a skeleton. Like, I mean, come on. Like, you gotta be a little understanding here, Orvar. Okay, once we dealt with the corruption of Buzunghar, his master desired greatly that I should visit him again on the peaceful path. Okay, Broen, that is, right, okay. Located in the mustering hall, right, yeah, okay, right, know just the way. Okay, if you allow me this, you must tell me that Broen has not been the same, right? No fault of his own, for he endured much in the watery den of the Watcher, curse its name, which isn't its name, so that's a little ironic. It's just, whatever. But the son of Broger may now be a little touched in the head, and then to lose his cousin Bosi to the forces of Mazog. It cannot have helped. No, probably not. Treat him kindly and with patience, and if the requests he makes of you seem a little peculiar, you will at least know the cause. Right. Okay, fine. All right, I'll go talk to Broen. I gotta keep my eye on the time, make sure I'm not late to go pick up my children. Okay, I have time to go find Broen. Ooh. Are there runes in that? The waves radiating out from the central spot? I'd never noticed that. It just looked like waves before, but there's like leaves down here and what look like runes. Wow. Cool. Okay. Let's go find Broen. Navigating my way through here should not be quite as difficult as finding my way out of those blasted tunnels. Strong work there, Gryfflet. I love the cracked stone here in Moria. I can see so much better in the distance. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the shadows. It was so long ago I turned the shadows off on my... Oh, fine. Whom do I have to return the arm of the statue to? Helgi? No, Helgi's the guy in the statue. It's his arm. Okay, a dwarf named Uxie. No. I have to talk to Arnaud at Tharakbakan. Okay, right, he's back where I just came from. Alright, next time I find myself there, maybe I'll do that. Why is the floor dirty over here, and then it suddenly ceases to be dirty? Whoa. Hi there, underside of goat. Just trying to look up at the ceiling and see why the pattern changes there. Alright. Here we are. Let's head into the peaceful path. Okay. Hi there, wounded and sleeping dwarves. Hey, bro, and how you bearing up?
But what of Bori? My cousin remains still a captive of Mazar.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Okay, your messenger returned with the news that I were in the depths trying to end the corruption that was found in the passage. Yep, just another day in the life over here. Browen seems about to say something else, but decides against it. After an uncomfortable pause, he begins again, and this time the words come in a torrent. Oh dear, a torrent of words from Browen. I cannot understand why we waste so much effort on such insignificant tasks, like stamping out the corruption in places, apparently is insignificant. I try not to take that personally. While my cousin Bori languishes in the dungeons of Mazog. Right, well, I agree with that. Why still do my father's dwarves mine while Bori is held? Good question. He may not still live, but if he does, just as I endured in the watery den of the Watcher, could it not be that every hour we waste brings him closer to death at the hands of the orcs, and still no one does anything? All right, I think, Browen, I can hear you here, right? You're remembering your own waiting, despairing that anyone would ever find you, right, as you were, like, slowly dying, and you're imagining Bori in the same position. I'm totally with you. Yeah, that sounds awful. Okay, your father has asked me to search for records of mined nodes in Khazad-dûm, but I cannot bring myself to do such useless work. If you will do it in my place, I can continue trying to think of some way to help Bori. Okay, we could get all burglarious, bro. And I mean, I could sneak into Mazog's stronghold and see if I could spring him, right? I mean, there's precedent, right, for invisible hobbits springing dwarves out of subterranean prisons, right? I mean, there's a precedent for that. So I could give it a shot. I know I'm not technically invisible, as several of those Globsnaga orcs just amply proved, but still. Anyway, okay, so I'll look for the records in the archives of the Great Delving. Ooh, I'm looking forward to going to the Great Delving with my new graphics. Okay, right, Chambers of Wisdom, Knowledge, and Deep Thought. I remember those. I think I've been there, actually, so I know just where those are. I can do that. But, bro, and I think I'm going to have to do that next time because I believe we are, yes, just about out of time. So good. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, Torshan. Yeah. I see your lore question over there. I talked about that. Not last week, week before, maybe it was the week before. Anyway, sometime in the last few weeks, I talked about that. Answer: naughtier things. Yes. The half orcs are the result of naughtier things, but naughtier things with the active contrivance of Saruman, right? So yeah, that's very bad, very bad. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I've got to I've got to run. But it was good hanging out with you. Don't forget, go over to Signum U, the Signum U Twitch stream, and give us a follow on that, and you'll get notifications when I join there. I'm going to be doing some more streaming now that I have my new computer set up. I'm going to be doing some more Wigan streaming in Rohan, right? Continuing to follow the epic quest line, finishing up going back and finishing the Great River, and then going down again into Rohan. So I'm very excited to do that and to see more of Rohan in the sort of new world that is opening up before me. And of course, I want to end by sending out a huge thank you to the person who knows whom I'm thanking. The new computer that I got, it's not a coincidence. For those of you who attended the marathon streams I did during our fundraising campaign last month will remember, well, month before last now technically, will remember that in my Wigan marathon stream, I had a sort of a hardware catastrophe as my computer started to die in the middle of my stream, and I had to try to learn how to ride a war steed with like hideous lag going on throughout the game. Well, one of the people who was watching the stream that day actually bought me a new computer and sent it to me. I was just blown away by the generosity of that gesture. So my brand new MacBook Pro, which is sweet and powerful and awesome, is all due to the generosity of one of my listeners and viewers here. So you know who you are, and I thank you so much for what you did, and that was just really awesome. So and thank you all of you who join me for my stream and who make this so much fun and who have so much fun with me as I have been exploring Middle Earth here. So thanks everybody, and I will see you guys next week. And as I say, come join us on Signum U. And not only will you get to see me when I do my Wigan streams, I'm also going to be I've been doing streams with my 8-year-old son, who's beginning his own explorations with his guardian Charmandy. He's a Pokemon fan, as you can tell. We're going to do another Charmandy stream, I think, tomorrow. That's the plan. So, if you want, but I never know when those things are going to happen. So if you want to join me for my spontaneous Wigan streams in Rohan, or my really kind of cute streams with my son, my 8-year-old son, Matthias, then you'll want to subscribe to our channel, and of course to see some of the other awesome shows that we're doing, like Girls of Middle Earth and Aerithert and Maven's trivia contests, and more programming that we're adding all the time. So I hope that you will that I'll see you there, and in any case, I'll see you back soon again, one way or another. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye now.